Welcome to the Cleve, Loveland, and the Loner Rangers show. We are giving you all of your real estate and mortgage news today right here on our show. I've been doing this show for over 25 years, bringing Central Florida all of its real estate news. I've been doing house sales, helping people buy homes, managing property for over 40 years in the Central Florida area, and we will give you all the information you need to know about. Is the market hot? Is it going to crash? Is prices going to continue rising? How do you buy a house? How do you get a house ready to sell? All of the things involved. How do you get the most rent out of your tenant? How do you get your tenant to pay on time? And all of these things, you can call in and ask us about that or email us. We'll answer your questions. But right now, I want to dive into inventory. This is the number that tells us how hot our market is. And right now, I'm still getting multiple offers on everything. I've only had one house this year out of the hundreds I've helped list and sell that did not get multiple offers in the first week, but oh my gosh, it sold in the second week. So the important thing nowadays is to get the house on the market at the right price. Don't be too greedy. Get on the right price and have several offers to pick from, and then you'll get somebody that will usually go a little bit above appraisal because the appraisers are keeping us from having another bubble. Not a bad thing, but necessary evil we've got to work with. And I want to bring in the man who has the money. He's the one in case you need a mortgage, because most sales are not cash. And this gentleman does all of your mortgage financing. He's been doing it. I think your first mortgage you carved out in stone, right?
I did. I carved it out in stone.
Stone tablet, right?
Pretty impressive stuff. And you know what? That loan never did default. So it's still there. It's still there. So there was a couple of things that I found that were pretty interesting too. Just keeping everybody up to speed on the market. Interest rates are still unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Okay? Yep. They're unbelievable.
Yep.
Okay. You can. It is still a good time to refinance. I honestly, to be honest with you, Cleve, I thought that the refinances would have been long gone.
I just sent you somebody last week that was like around 5.5.
Yes. And they still haven't refinanced. So if your rate is in the 4s, call me. If you have PMI, call me. If you are wanting to do some home improvements, call me. 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. There's a lot of reasons for people to refinance, but I want to tell you something. Refinances for me they're either here or they're not here. In other words, they come in waves.
Yeah.
But purchase transactions seem to be relatively consistent over my career.
Are you ahead? Well, are you up over last year in purchase transactions?
I am not up over last year. I am
tight inventory.
I'm slightly under, but like I would call that softly under. I have enough room to catch up. I'm not crushing last year. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting that mortgages, new applications, we're down 25% over this time last year.
Probably because of the refis?
Well, it could have been because of refis. People have already finished refinancing for the most part. Those that haven't should call us. Okay. But mortgage is down. But here was another thing that shocked me. It was like 23% of all sales were cash.
I've heard that. Yeah.
23%?
Yeah.
Where's all this money coming from?
I don't see that in my offers. And I think
I
think that's transactions between family members, some of the investor traffic out there.
I don't know
if
where
you're looking at the overall
from,
market. Yeah.
But you also, I don't know if they're considering like these offer pad type things, a cash offer, if there's no listing, are they pay? Because I don't know if well, that's why I always say in this program, we talk about where do you get your news, and then what are they talking about? They talk about nationwide numbers, and then sometimes the facts will come from Redfin National Real Estate Network. Well, that's one of those. They've got information from one of those. They're backed by one of those offer pad deals or open door things. And so you got to look at where your news comes from. And are they talking about nationwide numbers? Are they talking about all sales? And that's why you got to, figure out what you're listening to, because like right now, I've got a bunch of articles about how real estate inventory has risen across the country. Right.
Now, it hasn't yet in Central Florida. So, and it was a very slight rise, which is good though. That means we're
moving in the right direction.
We've kind of bottomed out because we want to stay. This market is, if you're a buyer, you need a good agent. Call us. We will help you find the home. If you're fighting multiple offers, we know how to do it, but it is tough. And it's hard. So I think we've kind of bottomed out. It should stay hot for a while, but who knows how long.
Well, and I'll tell you something for you first-time home buyers. You can always catch Cleve and I here on Saturdays at noon. But on my show, the Lone Ranger Radio Show, I will be interviewing one of my loan officers, Chase Woodburn, my son, who is a licensed loan officer on my team, who's going to be talking about first-time homebuyer programs. Mm-hmm. So if you want to tune in tomorrow onto my show at 11 o'clock, same station, we're going to be talking a little bit about first-time homebuyers and what he's doing to help the young adults become first-time homebuyers. So tune into that show. But so it's fascinating because I'm with you. I don't see 23 or 25% being cash offers. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if they're calling the iBuyer company a cash deal because they're not getting a mortgage and the hedge fund's paying cash for it, well, then I could see that. But here's what I do see. I see that, I don't know about you, but I work really hard for my money. And I would suspect that our listeners work hard for their money.
Yep.
Why are they so willing to give up $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 at the wink of an eye? Because they think that an offer pad deal is better than a traditional buyer that's willing to pay more.
Basically, I think it's just a lack of information.
Well, I think it's heavy commercials. I think
it's marketing.
People are becoming brainwashed and believing. It's like our government, right? They're cutting out the Facebook
and that's
ads.
where they're getting their profits to do that marketing.
When you pound in somebody's head the same thing over and over again, they start to believe it.
Yeah.
Right?
TV, radio, billboard. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Internet
so
advertising.
You just keep pounding it and pounding it and pounding it. You think somebody's going to pay your closing costs for you because they're generous? But it doesn't happen.
What pays for all that marketing? Their profit.
Yeah.
Basically, you are. Because you're giving away your equity.
That's why there's no such thing as a free deal, because there's always something attached to that transaction. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. 407-250-9144 for the Lone Ranger. Again, that's 407-250-9144. And you can always go to WeBringYouHome.com. You want to apply for a mortgage, you want to get refinanced. I've got the best and easiest online application system I've ever seen. And just go to WeBringYouHome.com and we'll get you all set up. If you want to talk to Cleve and his amazing team. So here's Cleve's number is 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118. But here's something that I want you to take into consideration. If you're listening to the show out there, you're one of our loyal listeners. We're very fortunate to have you. We really are. But you may not be in need of Cleve or I's service today. It may, you're out there, you're working in the workshop, you're 62 years old, you're whittling something for, I don't know what you're doing, right? You're tinkering on your whatever it is, okay? But you're listening to this show. And you don't need to refinance because you already refinanced. You don't need to buy because you don't need to buy. You already own a home. You might own several homes. If you listen to Cleve and I, you probably do. But someone that needs our help. And the reason I'm mentioning this, Cleve, is because I will guarantee you there's not another real estate agent, there's not another mortgage lender that takes their job as seriously and as passionately as you and I do. We're passionate about helping our buyers.
Yeah, no,
and there's no sales pitch. We give great information. I mean,
Cleve, just like this show, we're here to. We're solving people's problems. Not a problem, but we're solving their situation. If they want to get refinanced or they want to buy another house, they need to sell one. How do you line that up? How do you do that? We have a job because you can't buy a book on how to do this.
No, you can't.
And we've got to look at everybody's individual situation, their individual credit reports, their individual finances, their individual house they live in, and that's what we do. And that's why a website's not going to give that to you. And I go to people's houses all the time and talk to them.
And it's not generic. It's not one size fits all.
No, it's not.
Never, ever.
Oh, God,
matter of fact, It's funny. I'll get a call from a client and they'll go, well, I had a friend that did this and that's what they got. But everyone is different.
Oh, yeah.
Every deal is different. Every circumstance is different. And that's why you want to trust a mortgage lender that's going to lead you down the right path. If you're self-employed, if you're 1099, it's a different qualification process. It's a different rate on an FHA than it is a VA than a conventional loan. One may be better than the other.
Yep.
But here's one of the things I tell people. your interest rate is in direct proportion to your credit score.
Yeah.
So whenever I have a client that goes, oh, wait a minute, that rate seems a little higher than what I'd like. I know, but you got a 590.
You got a 590,
right? You're not going to you're not getting the benefits of the guy that's got the 780 credit score.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I think the main thing is, and I tell this to people all the time now, because when we're selling's not the problem. It's where are you going? Because I can sometimes in this hot market, I can get a buyer to agree to let you stay in the house for a couple of weeks, maybe after the closing. But the main thing is, where are you going to? Are you going to rent? Have you already picked out your home? And a lot of times I need to get them to go to you, get pre-approved, and hopefully or fast-tracked. Hopefully they can buy without selling. Go get their next home. Let's start that hunt. And you find your home. You were fighting multiple offers. You find your home. You've got their mortgage set to go. I can get you on the market and probably have you closed before you make your first mortgage payment in a perfect world.
Yeah. And
that's the hard part, because you can't just have your house under contract and go, oh, wow, we got 6 weeks to move. Where are we going?
Right. And I'll tell you something. You want to see anxiety in a client, then they're in contract on the sale or the purchase, but not on the opposite one. Right. So they're in contract on one, but not the other. And then all of a sudden they go, hey, Betty, we got the house sold. Now where do we move?
Yeah.
Or, hey, Betty, we're in contract to buy this new house, but we haven't got a buyer for the one we have to sell.
Yep.
So that's why you want a professional. And I can tell you this much, and it doesn't always work this way, because our answers change as the conditions of the market change. But right now, I would suggest that you get in contract for the purchase, because we will be able to get rid of your existing home pretty quickly, and you're going to get top dollar for it. It's not going to be a fire sale, right? Yeah. So if you have any questions, talk to Cleve. Talk to Cleve's buyer's agents. We'll get you completely set up. He can be reached at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118, or go to cleveloveland.com. He can help you with the purchase. He can help you with the sale. He can help you with property management. He's got, 85 years of experience in the business. I don't know how old how old are you now?
I'm 56.
56 years old. Jeez. And in good shape too. All right. Cleve can help you out. If you got questions for the Loan Arranger, my team and I are here to cater to your needs. Make sure you get a great mortgage, whether you're buying or refinancing. You can call me directly at 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or go to my website at webringyouhome.com. So we've got a couple minutes left on this segment. And when we come back from the commercial break, I want to talk about an article that was done by West TV, Gail Pascal Brown, on minimum wage earners and how many hours they have to work a week in order to qualify for a 2-bedroom average priced apartment. Okay. And then what are the remedies to that? So are rents staying low and purchases are going up, or are rents going up alongside the purchases? So are we seeing those rents increasing proportionately to what the housing prices are going up? Because housing prices are going up pretty quick, right?
They are very quick.
Like anybody that
Around
owns a house, you hit the gold mine if you bought a home. Even last year, even 3 months ago, you've probably made some equity.
You're going to appreciate that. Yeah. And so it helps offset all these things going up, when you go, but you don't realize that gain until you go to sell,
right?
Depending on what you're doing.
But that's the perfect gain.
Yeah.
That's what's called unrealized gain.
Yep. No taxes on it.
No taxes on the unrealized gain. Yep. I mean, come on. That's how millionaires get richer.
If you've got questions or you want my 50-point checklist on how to get your house sold, how to get it ready to sell, call me at 407-352-8118 or go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, or you can always contact the Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn, 32 years in the business. Same location for 20 years, right here at Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. And you want my expertise and honest advice from a trusted expert, then call me at 407-250-9144 or go to webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of Cleve Loveland and the Loan Arranger Radio with more information on what's going on in the market, how you can become a home buyer, seller, or refinance your home and save money. Be back in just a few minutes.